right, welcome to the course intro video for Literacy Foundations of Math, Levels 5 and Levels 6. These are two courses within the math program designed to get you ready for Workplace Math 10 specifically. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And I just want to let you know that I am Mr. Kuchma. I'm going to be your guide along this journey. And I've kind of specialized in the lower streams of math, the workplace math options for graduation. To graduate, you need a minimum Math 11, and this course is going to help you get that route. So I'm going to have my computer out. I'm going to do some screen sharing. You can see at the very top, there's a course rationale. And if we click on that, it talks a little bit about this course. So this course is designed for two different groups of students. Students who are older, maybe they're adult students, 18 plus, who never finished their math and want to finish their math, and they need to work on some of their foundational knowledge first. So if that's you, awesome. Please mention this when we do our Skype meeting, which we'll talk about next. It's also designed for students who are in either grade 10, 11, or 12 who aren't ready to take Math 10. You're still missing some of those, those building blocks in the math, and these courses are going to help you get there. So there's a pathway here, and it shows that you can either take Math 8 and then Math 9 and then take Math 10 followed by Math 11. Perfect. You can graduate. Alternatively, you can take Literacy Foundations Math Level 5 and then Level 6 and then take Workplace Math 10. So this is that second option, and Math 10 and Math 11 are two courses that are required for graduation. Only Math 11 is required for the Adult Dogwood, which is separate. Again, you can talk to me about that in the Skype meeting. So I just want to visually show you what you actually need in order to graduate. Now, if we go back to the course page, you're going to see that my contact information is at the very top. You can always come and chat with me during my Skype hours. I try to have Skype hours 4 days a week so that we can meet, and I can help you if needed. Often students have tutors that help them as well, and the tutors can come and talk to me on my Skype hours. My Skype hours are first come, first serve. Please send me a message and try not to call me because oftentimes I'm in other calls. So if you do send me a message, I will get back to you. Then there's a formula sheet. You can print that off. You can use that for all of the course, for assignments, for tests. And below that are some help videos that I've created. So sometimes when the students enter the course, this might be the first online course you've ever taken. So if you want to know how to create PDFs, how to make PDFs smaller so they can be submitted onto this course page, please watch these 3 videos. I've created them on YouTube. They're very quick, like 3 or 4 minutes at most. And they just show you how to use Cam Scanner, which is an awesome app for creating PDFs, how to convert your pictures into a PDF if your scanner turns your document into picture files. And oftentimes on this course page, students have very large files, and when you try to submit it, it's going to say, this file is too large, you can't submit it. So you can compress your file down in size, and then you can submit it. So now let's talk about how a chapter actually works. So in the chapters of this course, there are 3 parts. You start off learning about the lessons, second part is the assignments, and the third part is the tests. So I'm going to give you a run through of how each one of those functions, starting with number 1, lessons. So in the lessons, you are going to do 3 different things. You're going to be watching videos, you're going to be taking notes, and you're going to be doing practice questions. All right, so let's get started. If we look at chapter 1, there's 6 lessons, and as you'll look, not all chapters are created the same. Especially in Literacy Foundations Level 5, which I'm looking at right now, there are many chapters that are very, very short. Literacy Foundations Level 6, pretty much every chapter is roughly the same. The last couple are a little bit shorter, but it's much more drastic in Literacy Foundations Level 5. And Level 5, the first 4 chapters make up half the course, even though there's 12 chapters. So the chapters at the end are very, very quick, and you can do them in almost a day. Anyway, so let's get started. Lesson number 1 in operations with integers. This is in Literacy Foundations Level 5, like I mentioned. But I'm just going to show you how to use the lessons. This is for both courses. So this takes place in the Study Forge. You're going to get logged in, and this is what you're going to be greeted with. Very top, it's going to say print off your notes. You're going to want to do that. Please click entire chapter. Now, when you do this, it's going to give you 4 different options. I personally recommend, in most cases, normal. If for whatever reason you've got bad eyesight, you can choose large print. And if it's a longer chapter, maybe you want to use paper saver so that you use less paper and you've got really good eyesight. Either one's fine. I'll click normal. It's going to show this. So you print this off, and then these are the notes that we fill out as we watch the video. So as you can see, there's some fill in the blanks here, and these fill in the blanks will take place after watching the video. Some of these videos are a little bit dorky. Please excuse that. So after you've printed off your notes, then you are required to watch the videos. I want my students to be watching 100% of the videos, or at least 80%. Maybe there's a couple times where you skip through a little bit, but the videos is where you're going to learn the content, and you can watch it through one full time, and then you can go back and you can skim through it again, and you can just focus on that. But make sure that you are watching it to the best of your abilities. And then underneath that are the practice questions. So we've already taken care of the first 2 things, which is watching the videos and taking the notes. And then the last thing are the practice questions, which take place after watching the videos. So once you've completed the videos, and I should maybe just quickly show you that once you get to the end of the video, there's going to be a next video button, and you can go to the next video in this lesson, in lesson 1. And there's a little applet that you can use. You go to your next video. It's 2 minutes long. Go to your next video, and then I believe this one's got like 5 or 6 videos. As you can see, they're pretty short. They're like a minute long. And this is the last one. So once you get to the very end of, I believe this was video 5 or video 6, it would have taken about 12 minutes to watch the whole thing. Then you can look down and you can attempt these practice questions. And what I've suggested is that you do every 3rd practice question. So you can choose either the left, the middle, or the right column, and then just follow that all the way down. So if you choose the far right for this one, you get to do 1 less. So these practice questions I want to be done in either one of 2 ways. Number 1, you can do them online. And so as you can see, it says solve the absolute value of 0. Well, I already know that that's equal to 0, or you could type it out. It is equal to 0. Anything that you show on this far right side where this notepad is, I, as the teacher, can see. So I can see this. I'm like, yep, you got the answer right. You click to see the answer, and you can either get the question right, wrong, or you're not sure. It's like it's a little bit ambiguous. So please make sure that you're checking one of these 3 options. And then even if you got the wrong answer, that's fine. These are not for marks. These are just for completion. So I'm just looking to see that you have tried 3. And you're going to notice this orange solution button pops up once you've chosen one of the options. So if you click the solution button, it's going to show a step, and it's just going to show you the reason why you got the question wrong. This one's only got 1 step, just step 1. But further in the course, there's going to be questions that might have 2 or 3 steps, maybe even more. If you don't like working online, you can do this on paper. So you can pull out a little workbook, you can pull out your pencil, and you can just write out this question. You can write the question ID, and it says solve the absolute value of 0, and you can scan that in with your notes. So there are multiple options for how you complete this, but I just need to see that you've done it. So if you've completed it online, I'll be able to check it online myself. And if you've decided to complete it on paper, make sure that you scan them in with your note package. Now, if I go back to the course page, I can show you where that's handed in. So I clicked on lesson 1, and once you've completed all the lessons, right here is the operations with integers, study forge, notes, hand in. So that's where you're going to scan in all of your notes that you printed off and completed and all of your practice questions if you did them on paper. And like I said, sometimes those files can be really big, so you can go and you can compress them by using small PDF, and there's a how-to video there. So now that you've attempted the lesson, you've learned some of the content, now you can try the assignment. The assignment is the next part. Assignments are pass or fail until you pass. So they are free marks for you. You can look at them, they're like, this is my GPA booster. And we're just looking to see what you're trying to get in the course. Are you just trying to pass this course? Are you trying to get an A? Like, what are your hopes and dreams for this assignment? And then you attempt it. So you do your best, you put your answers in, and this is again printed off. You work with it on pencil, and then you scan it in onto the course page and hand it in. And if we're like, yep, you're good to go, then you can attempt the test after that. So if I go back, if you print off the assignment here, the hand-in box is just beneath that. So that's where you submit it. And then once it's marked, you get access to the test. So the test is not scary. You get 2 attempts on it. So if your first one isn't so great, you can try it again. And they are all multiple choice questions online, A, B, C, or D. And there's a test worksheet that you have to show your work on. It's very, very important to show your work, because even if you get the question wrong on the multiple choice section, you might, gain some part marks because of what you wrote. So on the test worksheet, I'm just going to show you. There's actually nothing there. It's just going to have number 1, number 2, and you are required to show your work, even if the question is like true or false. Just write down, this is the true answer, or this is why it's true. You have to show your work for every question. If you don't show your work, sometimes I might just assume that you guessed the question and you just happen to get it right. So it is important to always show your work on the test. And then the actual test itself is here, and when you click on it, you'll be able to attempt it there. I'm not going to. And then once you are done the test, you submit it to this hand-in box. That is how the chapter ends, and then you just continue on to the next chapter once you're ready. So as a refresher, you start with the lessons, you watch the videos, you take the notes, you do the practice questions. Once you've learned that content, you try the assignment, and then once you've tried the assignment, then you do the test. What I will just warn you of is that some of the tests have mistakes. So you might get a question wrong and you're like, I thought that was right. And yes, you probably did get it right, and I've got to manually mark it afterwards. You might say, what? This chapter test question is like so much harder than what I did on the assignment. That's true. Some of the test questions are very hard, and don't worry about that. If you get the question wrong, this course is really to be thought of as like a pass or fail course. So you're just trying to get through the course, to complete it. There's no final exam at the end. This is just the stepping stone course, or the courses to get into Workplace Math 10. So you're trying to build your foundational knowledge enough that you're going to be successful there. So when you're answering these really tricky questions, you're like, oh my word, don't worry. This course is also designed to help students get into Foundations in Pre-Calculus Math 10, but that's not a very popular route for most students. So when you have a really tough question on a test, just leave it alone. It's okay. When you get it wrong, don't be discouraged, because we're really just focusing on building your foundational knowledge. When you get your foundational knowledge, you're going to get into Workplace Math 10. You're going to find success, and you're going to graduate. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Come see me through Skype. But I really want to be your guide along the way and an advocate for you if you run into trouble. So I don't know if you're going to be having trouble unless you tell me. So it is really important to either contact me via email or via Skype to let me know, hey, Mr. Kuchma, I'm really struggling with something in your course. Can you give me some help? And then I'll be able to do that. It's been great to be able to welcome you into the course. Have a great time, and I look forward to meeting you on Skype soon.